I think these movies are weird, the Tom Cruise Mission Impossible movies, and once I explain why they're weird, I think you'll probably see it too. The weirdness relates to how they're made. I don't know if you realize this, but when they start shooting these movies, they do not have a script. This is not an accusation, this is famously how they make these movies. They've done tons of interviews about it. See, they start with a series of stunts they want to do. So they'll sit down and say, well, it would be cool if Tom Cruise jumped off a cliff on a motorcycle with a parachute and then had a parachute onto a moving train. So then they will go and start scouting that location and planning that sequence and training and doing all of that, still without any idea of why he's doing it. So they go and shoot all of these big action set pieces around the world, and then while they're doing that, somebody else is back building the sound stages where they will shoot the dialogue stuff later. So, for example, they wanted this big car chase in Rome for the last movie that has Tom Cruise handcuffed to Hayley Atwell. When she shot this scene, she didn't even know her character's name. For the first year she was in production, she didn't know anything about her character's personality, her motivations, anything. Because all of that stuff was shot later. For the first year, it's just shooting all of these scenes where you're running and shouting and shooting and dodging and all of that. So then after they've shot all this stuff, Christopher McQuarrie and Tom Cruise will sit down and say, okay, so why was he doing this? So for example, whenever there's a scene where people are giving exposition and talking about why we're doing what we're doing, those scenes always take place in small confined spaces. They'll be inside of a car or a plane or in a safe house because that's stuff that's easy to shoot later or reshoot if they change their mind. So then they splice that stuff in to give context to all of the crazy action stuff. And it creates this crazy, almost impossible challenge for the writer to work backward. And that's very funny because the newest movie, the final one in the series, the premise seems to be that they're going to explain how all of these adventures were part of one big master plan. And this would give me an anxiety attack as a writer because these movies are not about that. Because they correctly sell these movies on their big action stunt set pieces. What you remember from the theater is Tom Cruise clinging to the side of a cargo plane. You don't remember the details of what he was trying to do. But knowing the process they used to make these movies, go back and watch them again, and I swear you can tell.